Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As promised, today I'm going to do a project with vintage tin and soldering. I have some pieces of newer and older tin. Those are from biscuit tins and popcorn tins, and the one piece is from a vintage tip tray. I'm going to use my tin snips, and I will link all of the things that I used in the description below in case you want to do this project as well. I have a pair of old gardening gloves, and those are the type that have like a rubber coating, so you definitely need to wear some type of glove. And I have a piece of steel wool, and I also have an inexpensive nail file that I only use for jewelry making. And I have a paper towel or two to use for cleanup. I'm also going to use something to shape my ring around. So I have a ball peen hammer. If you have a dowel, anything that's circular like that will work. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a strip of tin. I have my gloves on, I have safety glasses on, and this tin is very sharp. If you haven't worked with it before, just be forewarned, you definitely need gloves. The thicker, the better. I think that the gardening ones with the rubber are pretty great. They're not too bulky and they allow me to work pretty well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut a strip of the tin. Another thing you can do is you can measure your finger with a piece of string and then hold that up against a ruler so you know what length you need. I cut a few inches, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a ring that is adjustable. So that way I do not have to worry so much about the fit. I'm going to snip down the length of my piece of tin, and I'm going to try to make it as straight as I can. It doesn't have to be perfect. When you get to the ends, there's the option of leaving it square or to round it off. And I'm going to snip off the pointy corners as best I can, because those are just going to be something that you will need to file down anyway. Once I have my piece cut and the corners rounded off, I'm going to use my file. Now you can use a metal file if you like, if you have a jewelry file. I like this one. I think it works great. Like I say, I only use it for jewelry making. And I put a paper towel down because whenever you're going to file or cut little pieces of metal or use the steel wool, you definitely want to have an easy cleanup. So I'm going to file around the edges. As you can see, I go in one direction and then I go back and forth a little bit, and I'm just rounding that off. You want to make sure that you don't have any burrs or any sharp corners. I'm going to go over it again and again until it's just right. I want to make it nice and smooth, and you don't want anything to be sharp. You don't want to poke yourself or hurt yourself with that. So you want to make sure that's nice and smooth. And I'm going to continue that on all edges. My tin is very flat, and if it wasn't, one way that you can flatten it out is to just roll it with a rolling pin. That works pretty well. After I use the file, I'm going to grab my steel wool, and I have fine grade steel wool, and I'm just going to go over those edges again. I want to make sure that everything is perfectly smooth. And you can see that my piece of tin and most of the old ones that you will work with, they are painted or they are coated with a plastic inside sometimes. So we want to be very careful when we're going to do our soldering. We don't want to burn any of the paint. The heat from the soldering iron can also burn the design right off of the tin. And also, you don't want to be breathing anything in, any kind of paint or anything. And what I'm going to do next is get my scissors and some copper foil tape. And I am using very thin copper foil tape, and I will link that below. And then a burnishing tool. And if you don't have a burnishing tool, you can use something like a dowel or a pencil. I'm going to hold the foil up against the edge of my piece of tin as best as I can and go around the edges, measuring to see the length that I need. I'm going to give it an extra couple millimeters because we don't want to fall short, and then I'll snip that off. And this foil is like a sticker, so it has a paper on the back that you have to peel off. And we're going to adhere that to the edge of our tin. Now that is so we can solder. We don't want to solder directly on the tin. You want to solder on copper foil. I'm going to center the foil around the edge of the tin. And when I'm happy with the position that I think that it's pretty even, I will press the copper down, and pressing that sticker part down and adhering it. And even though we filed this down, you still want to be very careful because it is a thin edge. And when I'm centering it, I have a little bit less of the copper foil on the front design part and more on what's going to be the inside of the ring, which is the reverse side that doesn't have the nice design on it. And that's because we want to show as much of that design as we can on our finished ring. I'm working very slowly. This is something that you don't want to rush. You really want to take your time. You want it to be just right. Now, if you mess up with this foil, if you haven't used it before, it can be a little tricky to work with. It takes a little bit of practice. So you can just peel it off and start again if you goof it up. But just, take your time, and it's nothing, like I say, it's something that you have to do very slowly, just maybe like in half an inch at a time or so. And it's just one of those things where you can't rush. Once I do one side and then I go around the end, I'll continue with the other side, and I will try to again keep that foil nice and centered so the line of the foil around the tin is very even. You don't want to see it, lopsided, like there's too much and then too little. You want it to be nice and even, so take your time. When I get to the very end, I'm going to kind of use my fingernails to push that down. You don't want to have any parts that are bumpy or creased or sticking up on the ends, so that's why we use the burnisher. I'm going to take that and I'm going to go around and smooth out all the creases. Again, I'm going to be very careful that I'm not scraping against the paint of my tin. We want to make sure that we keep that nice and unblemished. We don't want to make any marks on the paint because that can just make that paint just peel away. Once I do the front, I will make sure I have all the outside edges done. Then I will flip it over and do the reverse side. Now our piece is ready for soldering. I'm going to give it an inspection, and then I'm going to find my form that I'm going to shape it around. And because this is going to be an adjustable ring, it's not going to be soldered into a complete circle, which is the great thing about this project. So, it's forgiving, I should say. So I'm using the handle of my hammer, and I'm just going to use my thumbs and press it down just to make that circular shape as best that I can. Once I'm finished with the soldering, the ring can be gently shaped, but it can't be pulled apart very much because we don't want to ruin our foil and our soldering. I'll continue to use my thumbs to press that down, and then I'll take it off the handle of my hammer, and I can see that I need to bend those ends in a little bit more, and I have 3 tools that I can pick from to do that. I have my flat nose pliers, I have my round nose pliers, and I have wire straightening pliers that have a plastic jaw. So it's kind of like Papa Bear, Mama Bear, Baby Bear. Now this one, you can see that flat nose plier won't work because that's going to make a mark on our metal. The round nose look good. The plastic are a little bit bulky, a little hard to work with. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to pick up the round nose pliers, aka rosary pliers, and I'm going to very gently, I'm going to grab the end of that ring and just give it a real little turn just to try to make it a little more round. And then once I'm happy with it, it's time to solder. Now you always want to wear a mask and safety glasses. I have lead-free solder, a pair of pliers that I only use for soldering, a container, and some liquid flux. You must use flux so that the solder will adhere to the copper foil. I have a Q-tip that I'm going to use to apply the flux instead of a brush because I'm going to try to keep that flux off of the paint. I have my soldering iron getting nice and hot. It's warming up. And in the meantime, I will dip the tip of the Q-tip into the flux and very carefully go around the edges. And I'm not going to do the entire piece at once. I'm going to go little by little. So you can see I just did a little part there. And then I have my soldering iron. I have a very, very tiny piece of solder on there. And I'm just going to hold it up against the copper foil and let the solder flow right onto that copper foil. And here you can see from the other side, I put a little bit more flux on there, which is something you have to do often. And I have a little bit of solder and I'm just going to run it down that copper foil and it's going to melt on there and make a nice smooth surface. And if it's too lumpy, that means you need more flux or you need to turn up your soldering iron. I have to keep repositioning this with my pliers because it's a curved object and you always want to solder the ring after you bend it. You want to form the shape first and then you want to do the soldering. And as you can see, I'm working little by little, just doing, a centimeter or two at a time. And I'm showing you there the tiny little piece of solder that I picked up. You don't want to use a big gloppy piece, and we don't know whether that solder can, accidentally adhere to our tin, especially where there's like there's a gold spot on that tin. A lot of times anything metallic like that will attract that solder, will stick right on there. So we want to be really careful. And like I said, we want to make sure that we keep the flux as much away from the paint as we can because flux is corrosive. And we want to be very gentle and work slowly and very carefully. And so you don't want to be in a rush when you do this project. You want to have plenty of time to take your time. And, it is kind of small detail kind of work. And it's really relaxing and meditative, like I always say. So just do it little by little. And you can see I am finishing the outside and then I'm going to do the inside. I'm going to make sure I have all the outside ridges, like the edges of the ring done, and then we'll do the inside. So once again, the same thing. I'm using the Q-tip to apply the liquid flux onto the copper foil. And then I'll pick up a tiny little piece of solder and I'll apply that and let that melt onto my foil. I'm also going to be sure that it's nice and smooth inside. You wouldn't want to wear a ring that had anything pointy, or any little burrs or anything on the inside. So I'm going to be a little bit more generous with that solder and make it a nice smooth layer. Then I'll turn it around and do the other side. I'm paying special attention to the ends, maybe putting just a little bit extra solder on there to make sure they're nice and smooth and it looks really good. Again, I'm going to double check the inside to make sure there's no points sticking up, that it's nice and smooth. Once I'm finished with the outside, I'm going to apply a little bit more flux, and I'm going to add just a couple little drops of solder for decoration. And the way that I do that, as you can see, I put some flux on there. I'm going to pick up a very tiny piece of solder, and I'm going to hold the soldering iron to the metal, just transferring the drop, and then I'm going to kind of build it up. So it's just a little bit at first. You want to start small and then build it up. You don't want to take a big glob of solder. It's just going to run everywhere and you're going to have a mess. So I did a few drops, and you can see where the solder sometimes gets a little pointy. So I just go over it once again with a little more flux in the soldering iron, and that's our project. I'm going to wash it carefully with some dish soap and some running water. I'm not going to use a brush on it because I want to be careful of the paint. I don't want to scrape it off. But I love it. Now, if you want to go a step further, you can also add a black patina or another colored patina to your metal. I like the silver. I'm keeping it as it is, and I hope you enjoyed this project. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will be back very soon with a new video. I have another project coming up, and I have lots more in the works, so I'll see you next time.